guys, and welcome back. Guess who I have with me? The Hugster's back. We still haven't gotten our little sunshine. He's still in my belly. Yes, I am quite pregnant. Look at that. Do y'all feel sorry for me? Does somebody out there feel sorry for me? I'm almost 41 weeks pregnant. Thanks, Mike. So this video was actually recommended by one of my subscribers. They wanted to see me and my husband's opinion on this Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant conversation. Well, if you're here, don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Like and subscribe. Leave a blue heart. And let's get started.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yeah, some more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
by how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on that so far?
Okay, so me personally, okay, my old man, he passed when I was younger, so I can't really say I had much of his influence in my life. I did have a cousin that I greatly looked up to. He was a great influence in my life, which is why I'm a cheapskate. If you see this, I'm talking about you. But with that being said, a lot of guys do have that fear. You fear more of the divorce than to get married, because if you could get married and get divorced without no repercussions, it wouldn't be a big thing. But most guys, still have a lot to lose, and most women who get married, especially some women who get married to a guy on that level, they have far more to gain. So I'm assuming he's rather content with paying child support, because he might, compared to the child support he pay versus the amount he would lose in a divorce, it's like, hey, I'll pay some child support. I'm making money hand over fist. But
yeah. Cam Newton, for you guys who don't know, is an ex-football player and obviously a pretty big YouTuber.
I think that's kind of just, well,
it sounds like an excuse.
It
if
does.
You ask me. Like, he hasn't been selective in the type of women that he chooses to procreate with. Like, you choose women maybe based on their looks or what you think they have going on, but at the end of the day, they're not wife material.
And here's the thing too. This is a bit of a stretch, but if he really did want to get married, I know this sounds bad, but he doesn't have to marry a woman in America. He could marry a woman in another country and not even tell her what he do for a living. And he'll still have his wife, he'll have his kids or whatnot, and he'll be flying to America to make his money and going back whenever he can. Women marry fishermen. Fishermen are gone for what, like maybe weeks?
Months out the year. What we're going to see here is Dr. Bryant's opinion on it, and I'm more than likely going to side with her. Let's just go ahead and let it play a little more.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do.
And she's 100% correct on that. There are plenty others that go around making babies and then breaking up with the women, or the women break up with them because they turn out to not be the type of guy that you can marry and trust because he's got too many options maybe, and they don't know how to settle down. They don't know how to turn women down.
Okay, so I have mixed feelings about that because I totally get where she's coming from. And for the most part, I do agree with her. I mean, I'll be honest. It's a lot easier to be able to walk right into the living room and say, hey, Dad, I have an issue going on. Can you help me out with this? Versus ring, ring, ring. Oh, he's not picking up. Maybe I can leave a message. That is the benefit of having, you know, a dad at home. You got full access to this dad.
He's saying that he wants more children and things like that, and that is selfish. I mean, you can't argue that that's selfish. You already have 8 kids and 3 different women, so that's 3 different households. They're not together, obviously.
So yes, with that being said, they still say statistically that black men are the most involved in their children's lives. So I'm not going to say he isn't creating a broken home, but because I mean, anytime you're not there, I feel like it's already, like she said, a deficit of the attention that his children is going to receive, especially if it's split amongst several households
and several children. He's already got 8 and he wants more. So does that mean he wants more with the women he already has, or now we're going to be having more households?
But that doesn't mean that he's still not a part of his children's lives, because you get some guys who just have kids, have the money to support the kids, and be like, hey, if I'm giving child support, why I need to be in this kid's life? The fact that he's saying he wants more makes me think that he's more involved in his children's lives, because a truly selfish person, in my opinion, wouldn't be like, I want more kids and I'm just going to throw money their way.
You got some men out there that do that though, and they look at it as if it's like a situation where they look at children as trophies, you know, or the baby mamas as trophies, and they leave them to raise the children while they just pay child support, or, you know, weekend dad it or summertime dad it, but they're not there for the full 365 days of the year. And you don't necessarily have to be. It's just one of those things where it would be better if you were there, especially since we know that statistically single father homes end up better than single mother homes.
I think in the case where it's single moms, I think that's when it's almost like the dad isn't a part of the children's lives at all. And that's where I would assume that he's at least a part of his kid's life. Like,
as much as
actively,
he can be, yeah. Because he's probably got, you know, other things going on, being in the media and the spotlight, you know, and then of course he might be traveling and doing different things. So as much as he can. They're already split 8 different ways. Why do you need more? Is the bigger question. It does come off extremely selfish, especially if your main goal is not to create a family unit at some point.
I mean, I can't really argue that he is creating broken homes, but at the same time, I won't say that he isn't trying to be a part of his kid's life. But
nobody is saying that.
Yeah,
Nobody is saying that.
No, I got that, but I'm just saying how he's going about it, I personally couldn't agree with.
Same here.
Do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Oh, let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men would what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with a wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless, but you over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will, you'll get whatever you want, you're trying to create a home. totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish.
Okay. Now, with that said, I 100% agree with what she said towards the end. The reason why I say that is because, okay, we're about to have another son. Our first son, we got circumcised. Let's just say I was struggling with the idea. I still question whether what I did was right, because I was raised religiously. So you know, people raised religiously, Christianity belief, and the fact that I still basically dealt with having my son mutilated. The question somebody brought up to, well, are you going to have your next son circumcised? And the thing is, I had to say yes, because I can't do it for this one and not do it for that one, because then that would bring on like tension later on, like, well, why'd you do me and not him, and vice versa or whatnot. And the fact is, he's doing that even with his kids, because if he does actually find a woman that he's willing to marry, settle down with, and raise kids, then his other kids and other women that allowed themselves, I will say allowed themselves, because you're not resolved from that responsibility either, will be like, well, why wasn't I good enough? Why wasn't we good enough for you to settle down with us? So it does bring up tension and strife later on. And yeah, I feel he'll be 100% at fault for that, because here's the thing: if these women weren't good enough for you to settle down with, they should not have been good enough for you to plant your seed in. Simple as that.
Yeah, very well put. And I really don't have any argument or anything to even add on to that. That is 100% what it is. And I think more people need to have respect for family units, marriage, and the sanctity of what family should be.
I got one more thing to say. Towards the end, she addressed the black community. I think the black community as a whole, or was it just black men?
I think she was just saying the black community, but, you know, generally black men.
And this might be extremely pessimistic on my part, but it's never going to change unless one side takes a stand. So whether the men say, hey, I'm not going to have any kids outside of wedlock, or the women, because I hate to say it, I mean, ideally, you guys kind of hold
birth.
Y'all control birth. Y'all say, I'm not going to stand for having any kids outside of wedlock. If none of that happens, the black community will continue to go in this circle, this ever circle of this giving birth to bastards.
Hey, you know what? I can't argue with the truth. You guys leave us a comment, tell us what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And my son Michael is calling me. I will see you next time.